Welcome everybody to the BNI Talks webinar. My name is Steve Tenuzzo, your host, and today I've got Dawn Garcia, and she's talking about envisioning next level success. This is one that I think this is the perfect time of year to have a talk like this, because 2023 is right around the corner, and doing any kind of visioning, forecasting, figuring out what the future lies for you is going to help you start off the new year well. So Dawn, why don't I turn it over to you and you can take over.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve, and welcome everyone. This session is really all about how to advance your business success through being authentic and visionary, bringing your best self to your business to maximize your success. And it doesn't matter whether you're a sole proprietor or a rapidly growing enterprise or somewhere in between. This session is going to be really valuable for your growth into the next year. So first, I'd like to give you a little bit of background of my BNI story. I'm Dawn Garcia, director on the global support team and a business management consultant in my former life. I help business leaders to achieve their business goals. Currently, I work with BNI executive directors in the US who are business owners of their regions. And I found BNI, like many of you, when I started my business back in 2013. I realized that while I knew how to grow business for other organizations, I really needed to build my market and build my business to support the growth that I had anticipated. And so with that, I encountered a couple individuals at a chamber event, maybe you did similarly, and those individuals said, hey, you really need to check out BNI and have that as a piece of your key marketing strategy. And so I did. I fell in love with BNI, as many of you may have as well. And I experienced the value of how that really helps us to grow our business through the relationships, through the ability to really see and set the vision forward and help our local community. I was the founder of my home chapter and had the opportunity to serve in progressive BNI leadership roles that led to my current role. And you might say that BNI was a piece of my vision forward, and I suspect that this session is going to help you move your BNI vision and experience as well as your business experience forward. So with that, today's session is really all about having that committed vision of what your business could and should become and bringing that vision to life. And it starts with a mental image. As Aristotle captured here, we think that we know something, but if we can create an image of that, it becomes more real. It becomes more personable, more palatable, something that we can leverage to actually move forward our goals. And so I would challenge you, if you haven't already, to create that vision. That's what this session's all about, to drive your next level of success. Now, when we talk about vision, let's put this in perspective for how a business grows. We start with that business idea or concept. Maybe your business is yours alone or with a partner or maybe a growing team. All sizes of business need a vision and strategy to grow to achieve their best potential. So I'd like to start with a quick question for you. Do you have a vision for your business? And have you captured it in writing? So if you have, jot in the chat what your business vision is. Be proud to share it, because that's part of who you are and what makes your business successful. So I'll give you a moment to jot that in the chat if you have it. And if you don't, that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're going to create one. So I'll give you a moment to jot some ideas down there. And Steve, if you'd like to call out a few, that'd be great.
Sure. Let's see who's got a good vision coming in. I know it can be, all right, here's one. Scott says to help many people achieve a high quality of life.
Awesome. Love that. Love that.
Let's see. Creating a different approach to healthcare that brings women's needs and experiences to the center of the conversation.
Excellent. Love that as well.
Lisa says to help business professionals make that positive human connection that can't be deleted.
Ooh, ooh. Excellent.
Right. John wants to grow his business past pre-pandemic.
Excellent.
Isn't
Excellent.
23 like the year to say, all right, pandemic's over, let's
Yep,
move
moving
forward?
forward.
Yeah.
Yep, yep,
And
absolutely.
moving forward in a way that's a little bit different, right? Everyone works
Right.
a little bit differently now.
Right. Learning from the lessons that we've experienced and bringing that forward to a better future.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right.
All
Well,
right.
while those are still coming in, I'm going to keep going to build upon that.
Great.
So what exactly is a vision statement, you may ask, and why do I need one? Well, a vision is that future-focused view of what your business could and should become to best fulfill its mission and to meet your customers' needs. So it's typically a sentence or phrase that describes the best state of your business in the future. So if that's what it is, why do you need one? Well, the vision sets the direction for your strategy. If you don't have a clear vision of where you're going, any road will take you there, right? It doesn't mean it's the right road. Without a clear vision, you'll likely waste time, effort, money, and opportunity to advance your business in the market. Now, who of us can afford that? It doesn't sound like a good plan, right? So a vision is really important to your success. You want to give your business every advantage, and a vision is a key part of that. A solid vision helps you determine what should be done and where the efforts should be focused. It also helps to weed out the many different options so you can stick to the ones that are most impactful. Only the red arrow here describes the best strategy. Yet you see all of the others are kind of noise. They can distract us and disrupt us from what we truly need to focus on. And this comes to mind. Remember when Steve Jobs came back to Apple and he said about 90% of the projects that they had in the queue, he released. He said, these are not going to drive us to the direction that we want and need to be. He was clearly a visionary and used that to set the direction of the company to a way that it is currently one of the top performing countries in the globe. That's the benefit of a clear vision and strategic alignment. So let's talk about being in the top 10%. Now, I know we've got some high performers on this session today, and I know you want to be in the top 10% of your company if you're not already there. Well, guess what? The vision, a strong, effective vision, is the key to get there. And only about 10% of leaders are actually working strategically on alignment to the vision on a regular basis. Now, isn't that kind of a scary number? Only 10% are focused and positioned to advance their company in the right direction.
Yeah, Don, I find that a lot of people are so busy working on projects that they're not looking beyond the week that they're in or even the day that they're in.
Exactly, exactly. They're busy, don't get me wrong. It's not that they're not feeling that they're doing the right thing, but because we're not really focused on taking a piece of that time and saying, what is most important for me to work on this particular week? And am I making traction on that in the course of this week's activity? You guessed it, and you hit the nail on the head, Steve. 90% of leaders are kind of what we call lost in the whirlwind. If you've read the book 40X, you know what that relates to. The whirlwind will consume available time. We need to really carve out a window of that time and use it to be strategically positioned on what's most impactful for our business. And that's why my recommendation to leaders is to ensure that you've got that time in your calendar weekly. We know that what's in our calendar gets attention, right? So carve that time out and make sure that you have specific actions identified each week that will help you get to that strategic vision. When you do this, you will see remarkable performance results. To frame this a little bit differently, a vision helps advance a business in these specific ways. It helps us to consciously look into the future. Now, we don't know what the future holds exactly, but if we don't take a view into the future and try to envision what will that be and how do I need to respond? How do I need to prepare for what that future might be? If we don't take that time and effort to do that, we likely will miss an opportunity that we should be positioning for. It happens countless times. And particularly when I work with organizations with strategic planning, this is one of the conscious efforts we do, is to say, here's the direction we think the world is going. Here's maybe a little bit of a disruption. Here's a total disruption. How would we position our business to be effective and proactive in the case that this occurs? You may not want to spend a ton of resources living in the potential world, but to think about it and consider that impact is a key advantage for you in the industry. It does take discipline to do that. And that's part of what those key 10% leaders do, is they make sure that they've got time on their calendar and in their planning processes to make sure that there's alignment between that future view, what are the key priorities that are getting attention and leverage, and then those are strategically aligned with the mission of the organization. And that helps you ensure that you've got alignment of your resources and your talent to the same goal. A thought comes back to mind. I mean, when we think about the future state and really being strategic in our focus, I remember Dr. Ivan Meisner, our founder, described his vision when he started the company. He said, there are 13 different boxes as leadership roles in the company. And he was actually occupying all 13 roles. And he said his vision was that he had a unique and talented leader in each of those boxes. And he did achieve that. That's being visionary, to see what your business needs, to recognize what you bring to the table and who else you need in order to bring that vision to fruition.
And Dawn, one of the things that, I learned working with my coaches, when I say that I'm the only person in my company, it's really not true, because I work with a bookkeeper and I have my tax person and I've got all these other people, vendors and people that I surround myself with. So I really do have a team, even though it's just me.
Great point. Great point. It takes more than one person to build a successful business. You always have that team around you, whether they're in your office or at the end of your phone, or at the end of your internet fast retrieval. It takes a team, absolutely. Great point. So you may be thinking that because you have a vision, because you have a strategy. Well, let's recall that vision comes first and is critical to the development of the right strategy for your business. So my challenge to you would be, if you don't already have a vision statement for your business, now's a great time to put some thought and energy in doing that. The vision describes where you're going. The strategy describes the plan for how you'll get there. And you need both for success now and as you scale your business into the future. Think about the vision in terms of a couple key elements as you are creating this visual. Think about it as it relates to your team, relates to your products and services, what you deliver to your customers, your sales and marketing efforts, and then also think about your impact to the community and your customers. What's the ultimate impact of your business? Your vision should connect to that. Dare to dream of what the future could be, and then set the strategy to bring that to life. So speaking of growth, this is a visual map of the typical growth trajectory of a small business. Now, most businesses have a 1 to 2 year startup phase, followed by rapid growth and scaling, if suitable to the business. And then there's a maturity phase where the business results are steady and profitability is strong. And this can continue for a while. However, usually there will be competitors or technology impacts driving changes to the business model over time. Typically, an opportunity or shift in the market or sector causes a threat or shift, and the company either accommodates to that opportunity to scale growth or is challenged by those factors and begins a decline. Owner health or leadership succession can also be a factor in the next phase of the company. So the point with this is your business stage in the business life cycle impacts what your vision could and should be. What you ultimately want from your business is also a factor in that. So do you want your business to become a legacy for you? Do you want it to be a benefit of some retirement income? Do you envision this will be a family business that you can carry down from generation to generation? Or do you envision that you're going to develop a franchise and have some passive income that you can live off of in the future? All of those are great options. You need to think about what are the options that are best for you and your type of business. So what I'd like to ask you to do again is drop in the chat where you see your business at this point in time in terms of these business stages. Are you in phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or phase 4? Just trying to get a sense of who is in the room, if you will, today, and where folks are at, if you would. And Steve, if you give me a sense, that would be great. Oh, you're muted, Steve.
I'm seeing a lot of phase 4s and a lot of phase 1s, and here come a few phase 2s.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Great. I applaud the phase 4s for being in this visioning session, because that's definitely going to help you sort out what's the next step for your business as you go forward.
A couple of phase 3s popping in now, and some people who are moving from 2 to 3.
Okay, excellent. So we've really got across the board. That's excellent. Excellent. Well, when I think of business vision and growth, remember this is all about envisioning. The vision that comes to mind for me is a tree that really has a few key elements that to me just really gives us the ability to look at our business in those areas and say, where do we have some opportunity to strengthen or improve? The roots of the tree are the business concept and the vision. The strategy is the trunk, connecting the source of nourishment and energy to the branches, which are actually your people and your processes. And the leaves are then the output to your customers. If you've never thought of a tree this way, you might now, going forward, think of it this way when you see a beautiful tree outside. If we embrace this simple image, then we realize that the roots need to be planted and nurtured by the leadership team in good soil with passion and resources to take root. That means that alignment of our personal mission to our business mission is key to our best growth and results. I want to segue a little bit to how you show up in your business and how you can leverage that. So a personal mission is really probably a little easier to think about than a business vision. However, it should be an integral part of it. Whether you're the business owner, whether you're a leader in the business, or whether you're part of a business, you bring your unique skills, abilities, and passion to the business every day. And if there's alignment of that, you will be more effective, productive, and help your business to achieve the intended vision. So what you contribute of your passion, your energy, and your ability is key to your business success. So I'd ask you to jot another piece in the chat when you look at a couple of these key questions for developing your personal mission. Is your current business the right move for you? Is it personally enriching? Will I be good at it? Do I want to accomplish it? So if you could, in the chat, if you have a personal mission statement that you've developed, if you could jot it in the chat, that would be awesome. We'd love to see it. No judgments. We're all learning here. We're all supporting one another. So it's okay, whatever you come up with. And then think about how that really helps you to be more effective at what you do. I'll give you a moment to jot some ideas in the chat.
Yeah, I will say, Dawn, I started my business in 2009, and I am in the middle of just completely changing the direction of it. Working on a new website that I'll be launching soon. I'm still a copywriter, I'm still doing that, but I'm adding some services, and business has changed and the way that we use the internet has changed. And so this seems like the perfect time to really look at, what the future holds for the business and how to expand and to do more.
Excellent, excellent. And you're spot on. We've all lived through some major changes and disruptions to our business over the last few years, and we want to learn from that. We want to leverage that learning and really help our business be positioned optimally going forward. Do we have any great personal mission statements in the chat?
So Kayla writes, create a better work-life balance. Spurred me going out on my own, allowing me to present to both.
Awesome.
Dana says, I want to support my family, allow my husband to retire.
Ooh,
Nancy says, to bless others' lives as I've been blessed. And let's see, my personal vision and business are completely in line. I've been on a journey for over 3 decades to improve the quality of life of individuals.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, and I would be remiss if I didn't share my personal mission statement to give you an idea of how this process works. After some reflection, I came up with my personal mission statement is to help every business leader that I encounter to learn how to achieve their best potential in their work. And that impacts my decisions, my actions, and I suspect as you develop your personal mission statement, it will have the same impact for you.
Excellent.
Powerful.
Yep.
So if you don't have a personal mission statement, how do you create one? I often get this question, how do I get there? And the short answer is it does take some self-reflection, it takes some time, it takes some discovery to really do this correctly, to get the most value out of the process. And so I recommend these 3 practices as key to success: reflection, humility, and self-awareness, along with actually taking the time to do it, because you cannot rush this process. It's iterative. And so with that, reflection is really taking time away from distractions and looking internally. What gives you joy? What are your best gifts? Are you using them regularly? If not, why not? What gets in the way? Can you change that situation to increase your peace, your joy, and your value to others? We've all been given great gifts, and if we're not using them, there might be an opportunity for us to be happier and more effective in helping others, which is really what life is all about, I think. Humility is the act of being humble, recognizing that no one has the perfect package or abilities. Being honest and loving with ourselves to admit what we love and what we're good at and where we need help or the gifts of others. As you mentioned earlier, Steve, no one has it all. We need to bring in the talents and the abilities of others. But before we do that, we really need to acknowledge what we're good at and what we need help. And then self-awareness is understanding how we're perceived by others. What do people see and hear in our actions? How do they see us at work? Getting feedback from trusted colleagues is key to understanding how we can best support and serve others that we wish to. So once you've created your personal mission statement, you're ready to now align that with your business mission and vision. Your business mission is the purpose or reason that your business exists. It's the very nature of your services and products. Your personal vision is what your business could or should become with your personal mission contributions as a key asset and contribution. So with that, what I'd like to do is launch a brief poll to get a sense of where you're at in aligning your personal mission with your business vision. So Steve, if you'd help with that.
There it is. We've got 3 questions, so you can answer all 3 right now.
I'll give you a couple moments for that. Does your personal mission align and support your business vision? Has your vision changed over the last 3 to 4 years? And then, do you regularly use your vision statement to set and guide the direction of your business and team?
Yeah, I think that question about has your vision changed over the past 3 to 4 years, I'm seeing lots of yeses coming in, and certainly, I think you had to look at your business during the pandemic and say, how do I keep it going for some
Right,
people,
right.
right?
What are the
Uh,
shifts I need to make?
yeah,
Exactly, exactly. And
all
not
right.
every business did, though. I mean, there were some businesses that actually had great growth on their current trajectory during
Yeah,
the course of that, but most did have a little shift there.
yeah.
All
All right,
right.
we'll keep this open 5 more seconds, and then we'll close it out and look at our results. Okay. There we are.
All right. Your personal mission aligns and supports your business vision. Wow. 80% said yes, 16% not quite sure, 4% might have an opportunity to do some reflection and really set the direction there a little bit. Excellent. Has your vision changed over the past 3 to 4 years? 62% said yes, 30% said no. And we did identify, there are some businesses that really weren't as intimately affected, or maybe it's an opportunity now to say, now that we've gotten through it, now's the time to reset our vision going forward.
Yep.
And then the third one, do you regularly use your vision statement to set and guide the direction? 56%. So great. Applaud the 56% that do. That is amazing. And then there's some opportunity there as well. And there often is.
I appreciate the people who said no, because a lot of times we go through some of these exercises, like creating a vision statement, and we look at it and we get it. And then after a week, it just kind of fades into the background, which is just human nature. Stuff gets in the way sometimes. But I think that those who keep it like pinned up somewhere that they can see it on a regular basis are going to have a little bit more success, because they're constantly seeing what the future holds and what they mapped out for themselves.
You are spot on, Steve. Exactly right. I recommend that you have that image because, again, we talked about the importance of an image, whatever image you use, have that in a spot that is visible for you in your workspace on a regular basis. It calls us to a level of accountability to support that vision as part of what we do on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a business vision currently, the question I'd have for you is it concrete and explicit? It literally should be clear enough that your team see where they fit into it and they want to be part of it. It should be inspiring to everyone who's part of your business, whether they're employees or partners in your business, if you will. For example, in BNI, we aspire to have 30 or more members in a chapter because we know that that generates strong business return for member businesses, and it requires less work for the chapter leaders. It's simply a better ROI of their time and money. When I describe that in terms of numbers, it's not that exciting, is it? But if I share with you that we aspire to help 20 new business leaders each year in our community to experience successful business growth, to feed their families, and experience the freedom and joy of business ownership, is that a different vision? Does that get us a little more excited to say, yeah, I want to be part of that? I want to help those 20 new business leaders to achieve their potential. And I see areas of opportunity in my particular community or market. I want to really help make that happen. It gets us jazzed up a little bit to say, yeah, let's do that. So capture your vision in a way that is clear and inspirational, where your team can get behind the why and be ambassadors for achieving that vision. Now, as a business consultant, I realize that consistent processes help us to be more effective and efficient, delivering better results. And we can capture the process of developing a business vision into a visual for easy understanding and use. If this helps you, that's great. I always find it helps me not make gaps in the process. In other words, skip things that are key to success. And so that's really why I recognize and recommend this. It's a cycle that starts with a draft or an idea, and then you share that idea with others who have interest in your business. You gather some feedback from them. Maybe they're customers, maybe they're potential partners, but individuals who can give you feedback on that vision and say, yeah, this part fits, this part I'm not so sure about. Use that input to make adjustments and improvements, revise and repeat until the vision is clear and understood and relevant and aligned to the best future state that you can envision for your business. Then you'll know how you can message that and grow that vision, bring it to life. So one of the questions I often get is, well, how do I know when my vision statement is effective? You know, I've done this work, I've had the conversations, but how do I know that it's the right one? Well, there's 4 key things that I have found to be successful in a vision. The first is it really should be future focused. It should reflect on what's possible, but not what you're doing now. It shouldn't be incremental, if you will. It should be challenging you to think forward. What is the future of your industry? What are some of the things that your customers want and need that no one's delivering right now, that you are in a great position to deliver? To challenge you to look into the future there. It should also be exponential. So thinking about that in terms of, don't just look at the normal progression of your business products and services. Think again about what those customers might want and need, and leverage what I refer to as your core competencies, the things that your business is uniquely positioned to deliver to your customers that others may not be able to. Leverage those core competencies in a way that you can truly exceed what your customers are currently getting in the market. Should be risky a little bit. You know, anytime we're looking into the future, we don't know exactly what the future is going to show. And so with that, we know there's a little bit of risk or challenge in that, but avoid making it a cakewalk. Avoid saying we're going to do this tomorrow, we're going to do this in the next 2 or 3 years, because that's what we're doing now. Think about what might be shifting or needed in that period of time and position your business to be successful in that new reality should it occur. And avoid missing great opportunities because we didn't really want to think about that as a possibility. The highest performing businesses do think outside the box. They don't necessarily align resources to it, but they think about it in order to have that potential. And again, a vision should be focused on the what, the image. What will it look like when you achieve it? Not the how. The how is the strategy. And often I find folks get that a little meshed, if you will. A few thoughts on how the vision inspires and ignites our strategy. You know, the first is our passion. Our vision statement should excite you and your team. It should connect you to your business mission and make you want to jump in and do it. The people in your business obviously need to connect to that vision. It should be inclusive to everyone in the organization, not just a few. Everyone should be part of that vision if you truly want to leverage your resources to the most success. It should be clearly worded, simple, yet a bit daunting to accomplish. And from a process perspective, your vision statement should be aligned to your mission and your operational processes. Sometimes there's a temptation to say, we're going to go over here and we're going to do this amazing thing. But if that's not part of your company's strength, then you might want to rethink that you really have to build upon the foundation to be the best steward of your organization into the future. Now, Michael Hyatt, in his book, The Vision-Driven Leader, he captures the key steps to creating a business vision in this simple image. And I like this because you might have gathered by now, I like to have clean images and not a lot of fray. But looking forward, we want to see the possibilities, check for clarity and alignment to that personal mission. Is it inspiring? Is it practical? Is it needed? Does it fit your business? And then what resistance would you anticipate as you move forward to achieve that vision? The zag in here refers to the need to shift our vision at times. We've gone through a major disruption with the pandemic, might have affected our vision a little bit. We might need to shift that a little bit. And usually those external market changes or threats are part of the situations that we need to do a little zag to from time to time. So let's try an example to bring this a little clearer. Let's say that you have created a formula for a tasty gluten-free bread, and you've always wanted to open a bakery or a coffee shop. You're ready to make this happen after years of wishing that you could do it. What might be a potential vision statement that would be future-focused, practical, yet inspirational if this were your business concept? Put some thoughts in the chat, if you would, of some of these ideas, and we'll see what you come up with. And Steve, if you could just shout out a few, that would be great.
I will do that.
Again, there's no wrong answer here. Just put some thoughts in there and we'll enjoy the conversation that comes.
All right, here's one from Lisa. To teach our community to taste the deliciousness of gluten-free.
Oh, love that. Love it.
Provide the best gluten-free baked goods for your tummy's delight.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thomas says, give us this day our daily bread.
Wow. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Create a community gathering place around coffee or bread.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. As I was thinking about this concept, what came to my mind, just again, give you some ideas, is wholesome goodness for every tummy. And then a vision statement, if I'm the business leader of this company, what might I see? Well, maybe I envision a franchise for this down the road, because of course that's an easy opportunity for me to have some passive income and some value over time. And with that, maybe we call it the corner bake free franchise. And, I'm not a marketer, so Steve and company will probably have a much better title for it, but just throwing some ideas out there of how we might play with this a little bit. And that's where you would get feedback from other individuals, you'd refine it, and you'd figure out, how does this best reflect what we want to achieve within the company. So great work. Thank you for your ideas in that. Awesome stuff. So once you have a sense of what that vision might be, then you're going to bounce that by your team, customers, stakeholders, and the basic steps of moving forward with that would be what we've captured here. You need to commit to success. When you're ready to open that bakery, you really need to know that you're all in, that you've got resources, a plan, you're dedicated to do this, and that you're willing to make some of the difficult decisions in order to bring your vision to life. You have to understand your customer, what their needs are, and think through how you would market this new endeavor. And then you listen, you learn, and you refine based on the feedback that you get. So as I mentioned, this first critical step is all about your vision commitment. Despite what happens, you need to be all into this. Remember that your vision is durable. Regardless of what that vision looks like in the next 5 to 10 years, that's a durable vision. Maybe you want to have that franchise. That's where you're going. But you realize that you're going to have to engage in some difficult decisions, some challenges over time. And while your vision statement is directional and clear, you might need to modify your strategy over the period of time because, again, circumstances are going to impact your business operation, your team, your processes, and even what your customers expect. So anticipate those challenges that will require tenacity, personal integrity, and courage to carry out that vision and engage your team in the process. So I only share that because, as those of you who have been embarking on your business know all too well, the vision is one thing, making it happen does really require that commitment that many times we didn't anticipate. I always recommend considering how the vision will affect your customers and stakeholders. So if you have the opportunity to do a focus group or have conversations with individuals who are potential customers, do take that opportunity. It will help you immensely to formulate the vision and to refine your strategy so that you will be more successful at any stage of your business. It's important to always do that check-in. And as you do that, maybe one of the things you find in our bakery example is that you want to ask questions like, will the customers come to pick up the bread regularly? Do we ship it? Do we have an internet presence? Do we offer coffee and beverages within a space for seating? Or is this a pick up and go model, a drive-through model? Where you start isn't the vision, but the feedback from your customers and stakeholders really should inform the vision so that you're setting the business in the right direction.
Yeah, Dawn, I love this idea. And one of the things that I find that I've been doing is doing this, sharing the story. I'm doing it in one-to-ones and putting it in my gains profile before the one-to-one. So people know and just really jump into getting feedback on that.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. And as you gather that input and refine your vision, it will guide your strategy to more effective marketing and growth. You'll be spending your time and effort on what is most impactful to your customers. And that's really how you build a sustainable business. You'll see the potential of your company. You'll be able to design, deliver, and market to that with a clear focus. Consider factors that could derail your business model as well and position some alternatives in your strategy. Again, your vision may not change, but your strategy will need to overcome potential market or sector challenges along the way. It's just part of the world. So at this point, with a clear vision statement, you should be well positioned to develop your business strategy to guide the how you will execute that. And the operations piece in this triangle really references the people, the processes, and the resources needed to deliver on that business plan. And I like the simplicity of this because it actually works both ways. Your operations, when you manage and optimize those, it will enhance your strategy and help you really achieve your vision. Whereas the vision really guides the development of these other pieces, or should, if you want to be in that top 10%. So let's return to our tree image of business vision and alignment to strategy. If you build a strong foundation of business root in your vision, aligned to your personal mission and business strategy, you've set your business in a great position to be enduring and deliver on that vision. It does take, regular focus, watering, and pruning along the way, and then it will be beautiful to behold. As your vision moves forward, you'll deliver on your customers' needs with the results that they want and need. So I do encourage you to take time to revisit your vision at least every few years to ensure that you're always looking forward to set the best direction. Now, as committed business leaders, you can further increase your probability of success by verifying these 3 pieces in your business framing for the future. Ensure that you've got the technical and knowledge elements that are essential in your field of work. For example, in our bakery example, do you have a patent on that gluten-free bread recipe? If not, that's probably pretty foundational. And then you also should be skilled as a baker, or you should have a skilled baker on your team. You have a mentor in the field who can help you avoid the landmines and challenges that can derail your business. So in this example, who else do you know who started a coffee shop, maybe not exactly what you're doing, but who has worked through some of the challenges and issues there? Because frankly, we don't have the time to learn from our own experiences and risks. We don't have the time and money to recreate those mistakes. We want to learn from other people's wisdom and experience there. And then lastly, when we're talking about success in a business, I'd be remiss if I didn't say you need to have at least a competency in business skills and savvy in order to operate a successful business. If you don't have that, that's not your particular preference or ability, then find it, hire it, resource it, make sure that you've got someone on your team that can fill that gap for you so that you truly can drive the business to be successful. How can you refine your business vision as you go forward? Well, one of the keys we have in BNI is you've got a sales team of business professionals who would be very happy to give you feedback and help you refine and optimize your business vision. So if you haven't already thought of that, you reach out to trusted members in your chapter to gather some feedback on your business vision, what it could and should be. In addition, think about how this process that we've gone through today can really apply to the growth of your chapter as well. The same visioning process is key for chapter leadership to identify, well, what's the future of what our chapter should be? And how do we get there? Putting some plans and path in motion for success of every member. So as we wrap up, you should now be clear on why you need a business vision, how it adds value to your business now and into the future, and how to get started on creating one that best supports and fits who you are as an individual, as a business leader, and your contribution to your business. So as a participant in this session, I'll bet that you're one of the 10% who get it and will deliver on your vision going forward. And with that clear and inspiring vision that's practical and desired, your business success is at hand.
Excellent. Wow, that was amazing.
Yep. Let's see. So I'd like to share with you a quote that I think really resonates with this concept with me. And that is, the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help what would never otherwise have occurred. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So with that, what questions do you have?
All right, let's jump into Q&A. If anyone has a Q&A question, please add it into that section and we'll get to it in a minute. Let's start with Marissa, I'm sorry. What types of strategic things should I be doing during the weekly time?
Great question. So what I recommend is take a look at your vision and break it down into more bite-sized pieces. So if I'm going to achieve an additional growth or fill a position or expand into a new market, what does that look like? Break it down into kind of bite-sized pieces. What are the things that I can control and influence, and put those into your weekly plan? For example, you can't control the endpoint, but you can control the factors that contribute to that. So maybe that I'm going to reach out to 3 people this week and get clarity on what that would look like, or take an action step to contribute to that goal.
Okay. Maria says, if your small business is a sole proprietor as a distributor for a larger company, is it best to stick to your own personal vision and mission as your daily driver? Is it best to simply align yourself with a larger vision rather than create your own?
Great question. I always believe that who we are as a business leader should be core to what we do. So to your point, I would start with your personal mission and vision. Why are you in the business that you are? And those pieces that really fill your cup, give you joy, help you add value, should be the elements that you leverage and support as part of your broader enterprise.
Great. Dawn, can you talk a little bit about, earlier on you were talking about, coming up with some new ideas for your business.
Mhm.
How do you, what happens if what you're starting doesn't necessarily work out? How long do you keep something like you're trying something new? Like say they're trying a new bread or maybe they went into cakes or cupcakes or something. How long do you sustain it before you have to say, well, we have to kind of end this because it's not really helping?
Great question. And that's very practical as well, because every business that's going into a new market or really establishing new has a level of risk. So what I recommend is before you launch something, if possible, do your customer background inquiry just to get a sense of the interest, the need, the value that that particular service would be to the market. So in our bakery example, if we were interested in expanding a product line, then what I would do is ask some of your current customers, is this something you might be interested in? Or put a taster out there and see how many people actually taste it. See how many people might have interest in a sample of that and get some traction from there. If you find that that's not getting traction or interest, then you acknowledge that, okay, it's a great idea, but it didn't necessarily resonate with anybody but me, and I'm going to move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason I was thinking of that is that I know Google is famous for starting lots of new things, and if they don't work out, like they tried to get into social media like 5 different times, and each time they just kind of shut it down and kept the good stuff going. So I think keeping that kind of mindset of like, let's try a few different things and see what takes off. And focus
Right,
on those.
right, exactly. It could be the first iteration. The model might be an interesting one,
Right.
but your iteration of it might not have fit. So sometimes it's tweaking it a little bit. Sometimes it's letting that baby go, which might be something we're personally passionate about. But if it doesn't resonate with your customers, there's no benefit in keeping it because, again, the concept of a business is that it's generating income and adding value. And if it's not, then it's time to acknowledge that and shift.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, Dana says that wouldn't be a business, that would be more of a hobby, and I agree
Right,
with
right,
that.
exactly.
All right, I think that's all we have for questions, except for Yoko's asking, where can I get the recording? So it is going to be on our BNI Team USA YouTube channel, and I'm going to put it right into the chat right now. And I'll have this uploaded later today.
All right, awesome.
All right, we are almost at the top of the hour. So Dawn, thank you so much for being on today. We must have you back again. It was a long time getting you on the first time, but we kind of lost touch as we kind of switched into different BNI sections. But it would be wonderful to have you back on again next year as well.
Just quickly, if anybody wants any individual question or answer about your business concept, I mean, if you're part of BNI, I'm happy to help you. Feel free to use this QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can continue a conversation.